So is that the grinding crank?
Well, this is in case that thing doesn't work.
So it's a manual override?
Yeah.
This is an amazing homemade apple grinding machine.
Yeah. Let me go get a wrench. I just want to show you how it works before I hook it up. All right.
So Dave designed this apple grinding machine, and using what is this engine, Dave?
It's about a 1935 1 to 2.5 horsepower international engine. I've owned it from before I got married, so about 45 years.
Wow.
And this is the first year I've actually tried to put it to work. I don't rush into things.
No.
So let's talk about this one first.
Okay.
This flywheel came from a grape crushing machine, and I've got the press for it too, but I'll build that for next year. I saw on YouTube a fellow that had this type of a plunging system, and I thought, man, I got to do that. That just made sense. And so we did it one other time, and I rebuilt it with a little heavier linkage this time. And last time I didn't have enough clearance in this area. I needed a little more clearance for the bigger apples, and I had that all closed down, all the way down to the plunger.
Right.
So that just didn't work. So anyhow, we'll pull this apart so you can see what the grinder looks like. They're stainless steel screws. I've put a little edge to them. I sharpened them a little bit. And over here I have a homemade pulley for running the belt. If it is a problem, we can always put a little bit of honey on to make it a little stickier. But so far it hasn't been a problem. You notice that the screws line up really close to the edge of that.
Yes.
And that's something different that I'm trying this time. Now, last time I was back maybe half an inch.
Okay.
And that was terrible. And so this one will also come up and almost touch. It might even rub a little bit here and there if the screw is a little high. But this is all maple. This is a regular cutting board. And anything that touches the apples is been sealed.
So it's contained and keeping it safe from.
And I wanted to make it easy to clean. So,
right.
So.
Very cool.
Yeah,
this cart's really neat as well.
And then I have to anchor it down to the ground.
Oh.
I put a little handle here for pulling it around, and there'll be a plastic bin that fits in here to catch the mash as we make it.
I really like these wheels. Are they custom made too?
I took old bicycle rims and I cut all of the spokes out, and then I started with the hub. I found a pipe that wheel bearing bearings would fit into the pipe, and I have a 3/4 inch axle here, and I really didn't know what I was going to use these wheels for. I made 4 of them, but I ended up using the 2 on here. The spokes go all the way to that hub, that center metal hub, and then the wood gets filled in between, and this just kind of holds it all together on both sides. Again, it was a YouTube that I thought, what a unique idea, and I love wood spoke wheels.
Yeah.
And so
very cool.
Fun. Yeah. We'll pull this off because I don't want this flying around and hitting somebody. This is only if you had to run it by hand.
Oh, okay.
And,
well, it looks pretty on there when you're not running it.
yeah. So let me tell you a little bit about the engine.
Okay.
The engine always had a bad gas tank. The bottom of the tank had been rusted out, and for some reason I hung on to it all these years, And finally I decided, okay, it's time to do this. So I cut the bottom out and I went and picked up some 16th inch metal and I welded it in and checked for leaks. Oh, sure enough, I had a couple of leaks. So I patched those, tried it again, ended up with a couple more leaks. So I found out there's a product that you can buy and put into the tank, and you just roll this product around.
Okay.
Roll it around, and it seals the inside of the tank. You gotta let it dry, and I put 2 coats of that on, and you pour the excess out. It costs about $45 a quart.
Oh, geez.
But it works really good
Compared to trying to repair it.
And so then I thought I'd see if we could get it to run a little bit better. And the gas line showed that I was getting some air someplace. So we finally fixed that. Over here it's an updraft carburetor. Here's the choke. This is a needle valve for running the amount of gas that's required. And back here is the throttle. It only runs at about 300 RPM on the pulley, so it's pretty slow. We'll put some water into it. I made a little lid for it, and we'll put some water in it, and then we'll fire it up and see if it's going to run today. I use this as a belt tightener here.
Oh.
I'll just pull this back and
Oh, I see.
slide the whole thing back.
Okay.
That's my belt tightener.
Oh,
It's
ingenious.
primitive, but it'll work. Let me get some water.
So this is essentially the radiator.
Yeah.
Keep the engine cool.
I played with the valves a little bit on it, trying to get it to run a little bit better.
Custom-made wood radiator cap.
Cherry and sapele.
Cherry and
Sapele.
sapele. Wow, okay.
Let's see if we can get it to go.
Runs great. Look at that spin. Dave wants to do a little test grinding here to make sure it's functional, working well before the gang gets here for our apple grinding event. More tension. So did I see the spark plug cable get pulled off for the...
Yeah. We got to get this above the exhaust.
Ah, okay.
And then, yeah, I think we're going to be all right.
I think that test run was a success, at least from a layperson's point of view. So it's still dropping a few chunks, you said?
Yeah. I'm not sure. There's not very many in there, but
no. Well, that's what you do with the chunks.
if I had a better press, we could. Those chunks would be no problem.
Yeah.
But our press is a little bit small.
So these apples are from your trees and from one of our trees. For us, there wasn't much of a yield this year because of the wet and cool spring.
Actually, these are from my neighbor. I had one tree that filled one bin, and then I had about a half a bin from another tree. Yeah, it was a hard year for apples.
So what is this engine used for?
Well, originally they used them for pumping water.
Okay.
They were handy little engines on the farm. They had steel wheels, little cart that they sat on. It says right up here, 1.5 to 2.5 horsepower, type LA engine, 300 to 500 RPM pulley speed. So it's pretty slow. I missed a few parts to this one. Like this should be cast iron. You can buy replacements now made out of aluminum, and then there should be a little metal guard over the valves. I used an old pooper scooper, and it works.
Pooper scooper. Okay. Well, it looks like it was designed for it.
It's easy to get spark plugs though. They're huge spark plugs, but they have them right downtown. So.
Getting ready to crush some apples.